Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on the live stream, live from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about Bitcoin, we'll talk about the news, we'll talk about altcoins. I'm going to move some crypto around for you guys and I'm going to do my best to address all your questions. So let's get started. All right, welcome everybody. I'm here with the cat and me and the rig. Just as it hit 6 and I hit go live, the cat jumped up and kind of threw me for a loop. But he can stay as long as he doesn't get in the way too much. It's one of his favorite spots. So welcome. Like I said, I'm here with the rig. I had a little issue with overheating. I thought it was hardware. I thought my cooler had gone out, my Corsair CPU water cooler. But I went into the settings and adjusted the fans. There's 3 fans, those fans that are sort of half showing in the back here, and then this one fan in the back are connected to the CPU cooler, and they weren't. The 3 were turning off for some bizarre reason. So I went back in there and just kind of forced them to stay on, and that appears to have fixed the problem. But I had never experienced that before. They just sort of had a mind of their own. But anyway, rig's running fine. Otherwise, I've pretty much finished Elden Ring. I'm down to the final boss. It's actually a 2-stage boss. And have been on it for a couple of days, I guess, going at that boss. Haven't got to the 2nd stage several times, but haven't gotten through the 2nd stage. So that's me in my gaming rig. And so I think we're okay. We got lights, cameras, actions. Thank you everyone for being here. Let's go over here and just like I said, thank you. For everyone that's here tonight, we're going to talk about Bitcoin. We'll talk about the markets in the news a little bit. SP Bowser was here early. Wanted to know what he should do buying wise. I don't usually, give out financial advice. We're more technical, but the subject of tonight is kind of a Bitcoin charting thing. So I will talk a little bit about at least what I would consider, a strategy as far as buying goes, so or not buying. So let's jump in and check out the news. I'm going to pop out chat here real quick so that I can keep an eye on what you guys are saying. I don't see Dan or JDO here, but I'm pretty sure they'll both be here. I spoke with JDO through email earlier. He should be jumping in pretty soon, or not. Oh, there's Dan. Dan's here. And Scott is here. Good to have Scott here. Let me just run by and thank Kenneth, J. Perrin 01, Frank Rodriguez, SP Bowser, we talked earlier, Frank Rodriguez again, Brandon, Scott Lee, of course, Amsterdam, Holland here again, Eric Nichols. What do you know about the new Luna airdrop on May 27th? What do we have to get? What do we have to do to get the airdrop? I'll just address that real quick. We can talk more about it later, but from what I understand, it looks like, and the voting or the governance isn't done yet, but it looks like they are going to be starting a new chain. And but no information about how you're going to get this airdrop as far as I know, right? They've just voted on starting a new chain. My gut instinct is that if you have Luna in a wallet, then just hang on to it. If you're, because there's no point in selling it now. It's worthless. You can't really, there's not really many places to sell it. I think you can over on Osmosis. I think some of the bigger exchanges have delisted it. It's obviously still being traded somewhere because people are talking about, the prices, the fluctuations. But if as far as I'm concerned, I'm just going to leave it in my wallet. There's not much point in selling it, like I said. So I'll wait and see. My assumption is if you hold it in a wallet, you'll probably be due an airdrop of some kind or some kind of compensation. They did talk about that a little bit, that part of what they're setting aside is for current holders of UST and Luna. But it's not a done deal because we don't even know if this new chain is going to be viable or not. Like, who's going to buy the new chain based on the train wreck of the old chain, right? So we'll see. All right, let's jump into the news real quick. Before I jump too far into the news, I would like to mention that we've got a little itinerary down here of stuff we're going to talk about tonight, some coins I bought this week, and some affiliate links. And also down below here in the description, if you scroll down a little further, we've got links to all these news stories so that you can check them out in detail. I've got this one down here that we'll talk about a little bit, Tokenomics primer, which is really good information. So if you do anything, I would suggest clicking that link and like bookmarking it for your own edification in the present and in the future about what tokenomics is all about. That's a good intro to cryptos in general and how they work. Doesn't go into the excruciating detail of cryptography, but it does talk in general terms about what tokenomics are. All right, so let's see. And that's the story I got right here. So here we are, market wrap, cryptos decline amid choppy trading. DeFi tokens underperform. We're seeing a little bit of a reversal of that. I'm just going to pull up our trusty crypto.com. And if you take a look, we're sort of treading water. We've been kind of up and down over the last several days, if I'm not mistaken, sort of around the $30,000 mark for Bitcoin. Right now we're at approximately 29.5, which is not bad considering. I guess if you're going to hold out some sort of hope, it's the fact that it has not declined any further at this point, right? And it's been, we had the big pull down not last week, the week before when Luna crashed. And so it's pretty impressive that the crypto market, Bitcoin in particular, which is sort of the driver for the entire market, has remained sort of at this point, right? It hasn't gone down any further. But we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight. But that's where we are now. And I've noticed that several of my altcoins are on the rise. So I think if you scroll down a bit in crypto.com, you can see some of their top movers. Kava, Phantom, oops, sorry about that. I'm playing with my phone over here. Gods Unchained has been moving a lot lately. I don't know what's going on with Gods Unchained, but it's quite low compared to where at least I bought it several months back. So sometimes when coins get really low, there's a little bit of action because the trading is so thin. Somebody jumps in there with some big trades and the price just seems to moon out. But I think sometimes that can be kind of an illusion, right? Or a mirage, so to speak, because the trading is so thin that a big trade can come in and just jolt the price and people notice and jump into. So anyway, altcoins seem to be recovering, at least today, from what I've looked at. But here's our market wrap. Aversion to risk remains as volatility returns to stocks and cryptos. And I should also point out that the stock market hasn't, it has been down consistently over the last several weeks, but it hasn't taken a huge plunge from the last couple weeks, right? In fact, I believe at the end of trading on Friday, yesterday, there was like a push at the end, like from 3:30 to 4, there was like this big push, which could have been algorithms or it could have been big players coming in and placing buy orders to prevent the appearance of a down market at the end of the week. I hear a lot of chatter about that sort of thing. Oh, the big guys come in and at the very end the market is so rigged, whatsoever. So anyway, but my point is that the stock market has sort of been treading water too, and Bitcoin has been pretty correlated with the stock market of late, right, over the last several months, right? So anyway, if you want to know more about the current state of the market, I've got this linked down below. You can check out where they're talking about DeFi and how the altcoin, the fall of Terra, of course. Luna Foundation Guard has no plans for AVAX. Avalanche, I don't know what that's really about. I didn't look at that. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, okay. So I guess Luna Guard had bought some AVAX, and they're being tight-lipped about what they're going to do with that. They sold quite a bit of their Bitcoin, but apparently they still own some Bitcoin too. Anyway, we'll talk a little bit about the Luna fiasco here. But the big story is the Bitcoin death cross that I wanted to kind of talk about, and we're going to talk about what you should do buying wise a little bit, right? Just to, for those of you who are only into the investment, but then again, the trading aspect and or the investment aspect of Bitcoin. There's nothing wrong with investing in Bitcoin long term or short term, right? It's completely your choice, right? So we'll talk a little bit about that. But here we go. Bitcoin death cross. For those of you who don't know what that means, it sounds horrible. A death cross. It sounds really bad. But basically, it is on a chart event on the if you're charting the price action of any commodity or stock or crypto on the chart, it is the point where, let's see, where does it say this? The declining 50 period moving average, or 50 day MA, crossing under the 200-day moving average. I don't know that they have I guess that's this right here. And that's, is that it? That says 2022, I guess. I'm kind of confused if that's because I believe it just happened fairly recently, or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Anyway, let's talk a little bit what that, basically a big, what would we call them, trader, or what the hell do you want to call these guys? Analysts, right? Bitcoin analyst, Rect Capital. It's a pretty mainstream organization. They've got a big Twitter following, and I've heard of them through Crypto Lark's newsletter. Rect Capital is, pretty big, trusted crypto analyst or chart analyst, right? And they're predicting that due to this death cross, that their target price for Bitcoin is now 22,700, and that sounds pretty darn scary. But you have to remember that is just one analysis, and there are some caveats to that. Sometimes people will tell you very quickly that the death cross is a lagging indicator. So when we experience the death cross, that means that we're bottoming out, right? Basically. So when the death cross occurs, then it's time to turn to the upside. And then other people will tell you, no, it is a indicator of what's to come, right? So it just depends on your interpretation of what the death cross means to you, basically, or to these analysts, right? And so a good breakdown here is, here they go. More often than not, the depth of a BTC correction pre-death cross is similar to retrace depth post death cross. He summarized. Well, what the heck does that mean? Well, let's put it into perspective here. Sometimes the death cross is the bottom, and we're just talking about Bitcoin here, and other times it is a sign of further downside, right? And then here are the historic ones, right? So we had 2013, BTC dropped 73%. Oh my gosh, did I just click that? I didn't mean to. BTC dropped 73% pre-death cross, and then BTC drops another 70% post-death cross. That was 2013. 2017, we had a pre-70% drop pre-death cross, an additional 65% post-death cross. 2019, we also had a death cross in the chart of Bitcoin, 53% decline pre-DC, 55 decline post-DC. Now, 2020 broke that mold, right? In 2020, we had a 63% pre-death cross, but then we had a plus 1,581% post-death cross. We had a huge recovery after the death cross. 2021, we had a 56% pre-death cross drop, and then post-death cross, we had a plus 141% upswing, right? So, and then here we are in 2022, we have a negative 43 pre-death cross, and what's going to happen after the death cross, we don't know. Their prediction is that it's going to go down. So if we look historically at Bitcoin, the trend, the majority trend historically tends to be more downside after the death cross, right? But we can also make the argument that even though these two events, 2020 and 2021, buck that, they are the latest, right? They are the most recent, right? So we're in the present, right? We're no longer in the past, we're in the present, and let's look at the recent past to guide our predictions, right? So we could make that argument as well. But I should point out, and everyone should know this, that the 2020 dip coincided with the COVID scare. That was the March dip in everything, right? The stock market, the bond market, the gold market. I mean, it was crazy. Everything was going down except the US dollar. Basically, everyone wanted out of everything, and they just wanted dollars, right? Because they were scared. They wanted to be liquid, right? So that is an outlier event, right? It's not really a good, it's not really a good indicator, right? Because it was like one of the what you might call a black swan event, right? 2021 is a pretty good indicator. It was not based on any thing in particular. I'm sure there were some news factors that drove it, but not anything like the COVID dip, right? So, and then we had upside after that, and that's fairly recent, right? So, and then we can also point out that in these earlier drops, Bitcoin was not very correlated to much of anything, right? It was not correlated to the stock market like it is today, right? It wasn't really considered a risk asset. There were no big institutions buying Bitcoin. There was not a huge retail following of Bitcoin. It was kind of just for, speculators and nerds mostly. So it's kind of hard to extrapolate what happened in the past onto the present time, right? Because Bitcoin is much more correlated with the broader market now. And you have to also remember that charts, and you can say this, charts don't take into account, or they and I had this I had this sentence formed earlier. They don't take into account, or they absorb or account for current events, right? So basically, charts are based on they say they're based on price action, but in reality, they're based on human emotions and psychology, right? Because it's psychological in that, okay, if the price goes up to a certain point, and there's a lot of people buying, should I buy more? Should I buy less? It's market, it's kind of herd psychology, right? It's all technical and mathematical, but unfortunately it's based on the unpredictable human emotion. But in the sense of crowd psychology, it is predictable to a certain point, right? But it sort of disregards, like here in 2020, we had massive world events that affected prices, right? So it's hard to use charting techniques when you're dealing with such massive world events, right? And as I talked about last week, I don't want to sound like a broken record or too depressed, but 2022 has there are a lot of negative things affecting the market right now. We have inflation, which could lead to a recession, which would be bad for the market historically, I guess. We have the Federal Reserve raising rates to combat inflation, which is also bad for the market, right, in a different way. We have the conflict in Ukraine, the war in Ukraine, the cyber war between the East and the West, right? We have all of that uncertainty in that going on right now. We have supply chain issues worldwide. We've got the post-COVID effects, right? We were shut down for 2 years, and that is that's never happened before worldwide. So we really have no idea how that's going to affect markets and supply chains and labor and all that sort of stuff. So we got all kinds of strange stuff happening right now. So it's hard to say what's going to happen, really, right? So I'm just going to jump over and check and see what you guys are talking about, and then I'm going to address the question here. And the question was, should I buy now, or should I dollar cost average, right? And you have to it's sort of hard to put into perspective, but let's just say right now Bitcoin is at where it is, right? And you decide to roll the dice and jump both feet in on Bitcoin. You do that. Let's just say you do that, right? All the money you have available for trading, right? Let's say you got $5,000 and you set that aside for buying Bitcoin. And your question is, should I buy now or should I just dollar cost average and do it that way? Let's say you buy now and Bitcoin does go down to 22.7, right? Well, short term, you're in the hole, right? And you're pissed. And even if you're a long-term investor, if Bitcoin goes down to 22.7 or 20,000 or thereabouts, it's going to take a while for it to recover, right? Markets don't just bounce back that very quickly, right? When Bitcoin has these precipitous drops, it drags the rest of the crypto market down, and the sentiment gets soured, and it takes quite a while for the market to recover, so to speak, right? So even if you're a long-term investor and you buy now and Bitcoin does what this article is saying it's going to do, you're going to be in a position where you're going to have to wait quite a while to break even, right? What is the only bad thing that can happen if you don't buy now? I guess you could say, let's say the market just bounces back right away and you miss that Bitcoin moon, right? You haven't lost anything because you didn't put any money in. You just missed the potential, right? But that's not really a loss. But people will beat themselves up over that sort of thing. the you really shouldn't do that to yourself, right? So basically, you have nothing to lose by not buying now, right? And and even if you do buy everything, you spend your $5,000 now, and it goes down to 22. You haven't lost anything until you've sold, right? So maybe you're going to have to wait a year or 2 or 3 to see your gains realized, but you have Bitcoin, right? So in my book, it's never a bad time to buy Bitcoin. But in this moment of uncertainty, I would prefer to miss an upswing than to get caught in a downswing having spent all my money, right? So if I have $5,000, I want to spend it on Bitcoin, and I spend it all now and Bitcoin goes down, then I can't buy at the lower price, right? So if you want to take that wait and see, right, you could just sit and wait and see and not spend any of your money on Bitcoin, right? And Bitcoin goes up, you can buy some, you're still going to be able to buy your Bitcoin because you still got your money, right? If Bitcoin goes down to around 20,000, now you've got that liquid cash on hand to buy low, right? It could keep going down to 0 for all you know, but anyway, right? Dollar cost averaging is always a good idea as well, right? But I guess in my case, I might say something like, maybe if you got $5,000, spend maybe half of it now and save the other half if it goes lower. And if it goes up, then you've already put in 25, so you're good, and then you can put in a little more on the upswing, right? If it goes way down, then you've still got some to scoop up that bargain, right? This is not professional trading advice in any way or form, right? Better to miss gains than miss a huge part of your money. Cash is still king. Good point, Crypto Hive Mind. 0% of the normal buying people decide where the market is going. Whales and institutions decide, right? There's a good argument for that because we can track Bitcoin. The blockchain is transparent, so we can see what whales are doing. A whale is a person who has a Bitcoin wallet that has over a certain amount, like, I don't know, 100 Bitcoin or whatever it is, right? So we can track what the whales are doing. Okay, MicroStrategy took a 4% loan. They got plenty of room to loan way more. Okay. Don't forget the Wall Street effect, right? We got the powers that be. Oh, that's right. There was one thing that I wanted to share with you guys. If you just give me a second here, I think I'm going to have to look. Yes, this one. I meant to put this in. We can do this. And this is a great article that points out the hypocrisy of the big powers that be. I'll put it down here at the bottom. We haven't got through the news yet, have we? Let me just cap it real quick. I'm just going to cap this guy real quick so that it looks nice. Hope that worked. There we go. And then I'll just go ahead and I'll just do this and I'll put that there so you guys can read it. I'll just talk about this story right now. I read this story and I was like, okay, crypto bloodbath should have little effect on U.S. households. Goldman Sachs, right? Goldman Sachs weighs in. Right, blah, 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 crypto market recovers ground. Crypto market, in a note, he said that U.S. households own about 1/3 of the global cryptocurrencies market, in which case the recent decline is very small relative to U.S. household net worth. The banking giant also does not expect any substantial drag on the spending habit of Americans from the recent decline of the cryptocurrency market. Right? Translation. Everything's okay, right? Don't worry. Crypto market crash, we're still fine, right? The system still works. Don't be afraid to buy stocks. What was that? Okay. But this is the opposite of what the powers that be have been harping on in a not too distant past. I don't know if it was Goldman Sachs, but I do remember Janet Yellen talking about how crypto is a threat to the financial system, right? You remember that? Because if everybody's buying crypto and the crypto market crashes, could lead to greater financial instability. I remember. I don't forget that kind of stuff. And now here's Goldman Sachs, basically the same people, right? The same people that are coaching Janet Yellen. Hey, Janet, what'd you do today? Telling us not to worry, right? The crypto market just crashed. No big deal. Yeah. Don't be scared, Still go out, buy your gas, buy your stuff, buy your stocks. Everything's fine. Don't worry. Crypto market has no effect on us. Right? It's not what they were saying a couple months ago. A week or a couple months, right? So what is it? Is crypto a threat to the GDP and the mainstream financial system, or is it not a threat, right? So the powers that be will tell you whatever they want you to hear, right? They really don't. What they say is just I don't want to say pure lies or anything like that, but they're just jabbering, right? So a month ago they were telling us that crypto was a threat to the global financial system, right, because of its volatility. Now they're telling us after this huge crash, don't worry about it, it's not a big deal, right? Which is it? All right, I always thought that was funny, right? Posted that down below in the description. You guys can check it out, right? Did I save? I think I saved. Yeah, I saved, right? So you can check that out. Let's go to the next story real quick. We're going to kind of check in on Dokwan. Dokwan dissolved Terraform Labs Korea days before the Luna crash, right? Which was revealed in court documents, all right? The dramatic story of the Terra Luna crash, referred to by some as the Lehman Brothers of crypto, has taken yet another remarkable turn as legal documents reveal the liquidation of 2 South Korean offices and the dissolution of the Terraform Labs Korea Corporation in the days preceding the dual currency collapse, right? Initially reported by South Korean news outlet Digital Today, the information obtained from the country's Supreme Court Registry Office highlight that Dokwan successfully instigated the liquidation of 2 branches of an entire company. Now, this was pre-planned, right? He was probably trying to reincorporate somewhere else, right? Just like Binance did, just like many crypto companies. They incorporate like in friendlier jurisdictions like Malta or Hong Kong or wherever, right? And apparently this was pre-planned, right? It was all part of normal course of events, right? But it looks suspicious because basically, in a way, what he's doing is sort of bugging out of Korea in the sense that I don't know that he's escaping any kind of legal actions that the South Korean government might take against him in the sense that they may say this was fraud or whatever, but financially and company-wise, he has sort of managed to keep the Korean regulators at bay, really, because he's no longer incorporated in Korea, right? So they can't come after him. They can't come after his companies because they've been dissolved, right? So, but it looks suspicious, right? Doesn't look good for Dokwan, right? And let's see, the timing of these decisions has raised suspicions within the crypto community due to their potential correlation to the events compromising the final obliteration of Terra and UST stablecoin during the early hours of May 10. Terra is currently in the process of actioning a revival plan based on the Second Amendment of the Governance Proposal 1623. If approved, it will enact 3 revisions to the current system, increase the Genesis liquidity from 15 to 30% to mitigate future inflationary pressures, implement a novel liquidity profile for pre-attack Luna holders, and decrease funds to post-attack UST holders. Okay. So someone had asked me what the plan was. This is kind of where it's at right now, right? They're trying to start a new chain and somehow allocate part of the new coin to previous Luna holders, right? If you had Luna in a wallet before on a certain date, most it's going to be kind of a snapshot thing. But this new chain, we don't even know, right? Is this new chain going to even be worth anything, right? If they call the Luna that I have Luna Classic, and then they convert it to post Luna or whatever, they're going to continue to call it Luna. What does that mean for me? I have Luna in my wallet. I don't know, right? We'll see. Right? Is this new iteration of the Luna chain going to be worth anything? Is anybody going to buy it or not? Right? That's the question. So, and then another little feel-good story here. Central bankers bellow Bitcoin on El Salvador's Bitcoin beach. As you know, El Salvador legalized Bitcoin last year, and they had this little area they call Bitcoin Beach, which has predates that and has been like this little enclave where, you know, a Bitcoin community thrives. People go there and hang out, and there's a lot of merchants there that accept Bitcoin as payment. So they invited a bunch of bankers. Who's they? I'm not sure who they are. Probably some of the people. They just had a conference, right? And then a bunch of bankers came, and they sort of wined and dined them, and talked about Bitcoin and stuff like that, right? El Salvador's Financial Inclusion Conference. So there were quite a few countries that were represented, banking-wise: Paraguay, Ghana, Egypt. They came and they spent their satoshis to interact with locals. I kind of like this little thing here. The world-famous Mama Rosa and her son helping central bankers use best Bitcoin to buy the best pupas? Doggone it. I hate when that happens. All right. I'm trying to just highlight this so I just want to know what it is, right? You got to Google it. You got to figure out what that is. I'm assuming it's some kind of dessert, right? Yeah, it's a Hispanic Mexican dessert of some kind, right? I don't know. Oh, it's a griddle cake, flatbread, right? Looks good. From El Salvador, made with cornmeal, rice flour, Venezuelan national dish. Okay, cool stuff, right? So, but she'll accept Bitcoin, right? Cool stuff, right? And they're using their app to spend their Bitcoin via the Lightning Network, right? So, kind of a cool story. And then if you go down towards the end of the story, you'll say some of the bankers were like, we didn't say nothing about Bitcoin. This meeting has no relation to cryptocurrencies or similar. The Paraguay Central Bank does not intend to discuss cryptocurrencies in said environment or meeting, right? That was their official proclamation. But you can see in this little thing here, they all scream Bitcoin. Oh, sorry. They all said Bitcoin. All right, now I'd like to jump into this little article here. I'll kind of refer to it a little bit for you guys. It's a very educational article. You guys know I'm all about understanding Bitcoin and wallets and other cryptos, and I want to give you information on how you do self-custody and all that great stuff. So my dad sent me a link to this article. It's a very generalized overview of what tokenomics is all about. I'll just go through it briefly. It's just the mechanics of how a coin works. The method of creation, right, is important in tokenomics. Well, Bitcoin is proof of work, right? So in order to mine Bitcoin, you have to run a Bitcoin miner, which does heavy calculations. This is a pretty good explanation of mining. People ask me, what is Bitcoin? How does it work and everything? Proof of work mining, which was pioneered by Bitcoin. Network security is linked to coin creation. Miners earn a reward of new tokens for solving math problems and earn the right to process the next block in the blockchain. It's a pretty simplified view of what proof of work is, but pretty succinct too, right? The second is pre-mining, which is when a coin is created, a new blockchain is created, a new coin of some kind for whatever use case that coin may be. They might pre-mine the coin. In other words, they just sort of create the coin out of thin air and allocate that pre-mined coin to a select group. Could be the developers, could be the investors, right? Could be early buyers, that sort of thing. And then tokens are mined on the blockchain prior to the network's launch. Closely related is insta-mining, which is a large number of coins that are mined in the first few hours or days of the launch. And then we also have proof of stake, which is anyone can stake or lock their tokens on the network in return for a chance of being awarded a block to validate. Whoever is awarded the block earns a reward of newly minted coins. Cardano is an example of a proof of stake crypto. And there are quite a few proof of stake cryptos out there. And that is where we get the concept of staking. A user, a small holder, can stake his coins in his wallet with a validator. And the validator is that person or group or server that actually gets awarded the tokens in a chance of being awarded a block to. So somehow they determine whoever gets the next block or the next piece. And then basically the validator shares that reward with all of the people that are staking on their node, right? So it's just a pretty good, simple explanation of what proof of stake is all about, right? And then it talks a little bit about what burning is. Burning is where coins get destroyed, and that's deflationary. So whoever's left holding existing coins, their coins are more scarce, right? Because they've just destroyed a bunch, right? So burning, you hear that a lot, and you're like, what does that mean? What does that mean when they say burning? It's just a process of destroying the coins or sending coins to a dead address. A dead address is like a receiving address with no private key. So you send coins to that address, they're gone forever. There's no chance of ever using them again. Right? Here's another important one. A lot of people ask me about this and they're a little confused. Why does every cryptocurrency have a different price? Is it solely based on its value? Not necessarily, right? Because the supply of a coin makes a big difference. So, as you know, Bitcoin is very expensive. It has a small supply, as opposed to a coin like Cardano or Ethereum, where there's a lot more. Another great example of having a huge supply is Shiba Inu. It's got like trillions of coins in this, and then they also break it down a little bit. They've got circulating supply, total supply, and maximum supply, right? And then there are details in there too. I won't go too far into that, but maximum supply is like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is only going to have a total supply of 21 million when it's done mining, right? And that won't be until like 2050, right? But that's what they mean by maximum, right? Circulating is the coins that are out there that are available, and then total is the total that exists on the blockchain at this moment, right? Allocation is another big important thing to know about. If you're going to be investing in a particular coin, you want to know about this. How is the coin allocated? We talked about pre-mining. We talked about, what was that other one that was right after pre-mining was insta-mining, which I hadn't heard of before. Right? But where do all those coins go? How big a percentage are the developers keeping for themselves? How big of a percentage are they sort of putting aside for airdrops and things in the future? How big a percentage is going to the investors and that sort of thing? And how big of a percentage are being like kind of put out on the open market for people like you and me to purchase on exchanges or dexes, right? It's very important to a coin, right? You want to do that kind of research. You want to know about the allocation of a coin, how it's created, how much was pre-mined, all that sort of stuff is very important besides just the current price action and the chart, right? So you want to know about all of this stuff. Governance is, it means what it says. It's how decisions get made for a particular coin, and this can be done through voting, and the more coins you have, the more your vote counts, right? So governance is also very important. Luna has governance, so there's people right now that are pretty mad because of what's going on with Luna, and group sentiment on Reddit and all that is kind of against the reset of the blockchain, but governance on the Luna platform is obvious that it's going to go through, and people are crying foul because it's probably has to do with all of these people that own these huge chunks of Luna, right? So if the Luna Foundation has like 50% of all of the Luna tokens in circulation, their vote is going to count quite big, right? And then there are another, few big whales along with the Luna Foundation can sway the vote any way they want, right? I'm just, giving you an example. I don't know this to be true, right? So all of that is very important. There's a pretty good article. Like I said, all of these articles are linked down below. So I invite you to check them out. And then check out all of my affiliate links. CoinTelegraph Markets Pro, Crypto.com, Ledger, Trezor, clothing line for hodlers, which I think is kind of cool, Ledger Starter Pack, BlockFi. All of these affiliate accounts are help me and help the channel. If you're interested in any of these things, I encourage you to use my link so that they'll know I sent you, right? And then Coinbase, Kraken, and Binance US, check them out, right? So JDO had sent me an email earlier about this this new Ledger extension. I guess it's a browser extension. So I had sort of heard rumors about this, I guess. And it looks like, and now they got a picture of it on the phone. Ledger Connect browser extension. I think it's a browser extension. So I'm not sure. It looks like this is for iOS. They're showing us a picture of iOS, and that's not even out yet, but it looks cool, right? So anyway, I thought I would check this out. Let me just kind of get caught up and see. There's quite a bit of discussion going on. Yes, Luna really made newbies gun shy. I see it at work, yes. I agree. I think we talked last week extensively about the whole Luna situation and how not only did it bring the market down, but it also soured a lot of people on cryptos in general, especially altcoins, but even Bitcoin too. And I think this was the design of whoever was attacking the network. They saw their opportunity to attack the UST, which broke the peg, and then sort of once that happened, there was a self-feeding loop which brought the UST coin down completely and destroyed Luna in the process. But by doing that, they attacked confidence in the crypto sector as a whole, right? And I think that was the intention. Don't want to get too into that. The fork that he wants says it all. Anybody here part of Sphere? I recall Sphere a long time ago. I think I bought some. I don't know what happened to it. It's been a while. That's an oldie. That's an oldie but a goodie, right? Be like Kid Rock, throw out 1,000 songs and hope one of them will hit. Luna Classic, Luna. Oh, okay, so they're coming out with new ticker symbols, it looks like, okay. May I ask why you are not all on Cadena? I don't even know what that is. Because all in on anything is not a good idea, okay. My son had some tokens on an exchange and would like to get them off. He can't afford his own ledger yet. What kind of tokens are there? There are free wallets out there that you can use to store Bitcoin offline, like the Electrum Bitcoin wallet. It's free. That'd be something you could use to store your Bitcoin if you own Bitcoin on an exchange and you would like to get it off. There is also a wallet that you can download on your phone called the Trust Wallet, which is also free. You can store all kinds of coins in the Trust Wallet. As you can see there, I've got some coins in Trust Wallet. Let me just quickly... I got a lot of tabs open, right? Trust Wallet. Right. If they're not Bitcoin, if they're just tokens or whatever, Trust Wallet is a great wallet because it supports a lot of coins and a lot of chains, right? So you can store Bitcoin, you can store BNB, you can store Ethereum, you can store ERC20 tokens in Trust Wallet, and Trust Wallet is free. Not as secure as having a hardware wallet like Ledger or Trezor, but basically it is device dependent, right? The private key is stored on your phone. It is self-custody, so it is a great way to self-custody your Bitcoin and other tokens, and it's free, right? If you've got a smartphone, you can download Trust Wallet and use that to store your coins. But it gives you a recovery phrase, which you'll definitely want to write down in case you lose your phone. Pardon me. Ooh, I gotta sneeze. So yeah, I would recommend Trust Wallet if you can't afford a ledger, right? Or Electrum Bitcoin Wallet if it's just Bitcoin and you want to put it on a desktop-based wallet, right? There's a lot of desktop-based wallets. Kepler is also free, right? We talked about the Kepler wallet. It is specific to the Cosmos Atom blockchain, but it is free. It's a browser extension, and if you don't have a ledger, it's not quite as secure. I use my Kepler in conjunction with my ledger device, but you can also run a standalone Kepler wallet in your browser and they'll give you a recovery phrase. You'll write it down, store it in a safe place. If your computer crashes or you accidentally uninstall your browser or anything like that. So Kepler is also a free resource for storing coins, right? Another free wallet is MetaMask. MetaMask is more oriented towards Ethereum chains. But it is also quite versatile. And you can store a lot of different coins in MetaMask, and it supports a lot of chains, but they all have to be Ethereum chains. You cannot store Bitcoin in MetaMask. You can store wrapped Bitcoin, but that's something else, right? But I like to use MetaMask in conjunction with my Ledger device, right? As you can see here, I can switch between standalone accounts, and ledger-based accounts, right? I like to use the ledger device to store the private key of my MetaMask accounts, or my MetaMask can manage my Ethereum wallets from my ledger, right? But you can also use MetaMask in your browser, and they'll give you a backup phrase which you'll write down and store in a safe place, and it's free, right? There's a lot of options if you can't afford a ledger, right? Yes, I have multiple wallets for the same tokens on Ledger. Rex has many videos showing this. Ledger Nano Plus looking good. Yeah, I've got a Ledger Nano Plus video that I just dropped not too long ago. A quick setup of the Ledger Nano S. And if you already have a Ledger, Plus. I always say that wrong. Ledger Nano S Plus. That's the new one, right? And if you have a Ledger Nano S, the old one, and you have some cryptos on there already, then it's very simple to simply do a restore using the 24-word recovery phrase of your original Ledger Nano S, and that allows you to just migrate everything over to your Ledger Nano S Plus without having to redo your Ledger Live or your accounts or anything, right? The Ledger Live would recognize the new device on the existing accounts, right? So you can set it up as new and transfer all your crypto into it, or you can just simply do an import of an existing 24-word recovery phrase and just hit the ground running with all of your existing accounts, right? Keep in mind there are a few things like Monero. If you're using Monero wallet does not yet support the Ledger Nano S Plus, but that's kind of more for advanced people. I also dropped a video on not using your Ledger Nano recovery phrase to set up MetaMask, right? Which is, there are a lot of people, you'll hear a lot of stories about people that claim that they were using MetaMask and somehow someone emptied out their hardware wallet, which is kind of impossible, right, if you're doing things correctly. And I think what a lot of people did was I've had people ask me questions in comments and in email, and they'll say, well, I set up MetaMask, I pulled in using my 24-word recovery phrase, and they set up MetaMask that way. What that does is bypass the security of the device, and you've simply pulled in your wallet, all of the crypto that you had stored on your ledger into MetaMask, and now your private key is vulnerable because now you've just pulled it into MetaMask and it's sitting on your computer. It's reasonably secure, but not as secure as it should be on your ledger. The proper way is to set up MetaMask by itself and then attach your ledger device, right? So like down here you've got this connect hardware wallet. You should set up MetaMask first and then connect your wallet, your hardware device, so that you can still take advantage of the security of your device, right? And then I did a video on how to purchase and store Shiba Inu, right? Because a lot of people are asking me about it. So I figured it's about time I did a specific video on it. I'm hard-headed, people are always asking me about Shiba Inu, and I'm like, it's a meme coin, I'm not interested. I don't want to do a video, but a lot of people, sometimes you have to give people what they want, right? They want to know, how do I store Shiba? A lot of people ask me that. How do I put Shiba in my ledger? Well, it's trivial, but I hadn't done a video on it, so I did a video. Shiba is a ERC20 token. It's trivial to store it on a ledger because you just drop it in your Ethereum wallet. Anyway. All right, so let's see. Yeah, you can use MetaMask to do multiple chains. As you can see, my MetaMask is set up for Ethereum. I've got Moonbeam, Moonriver, Polygon. You can see there's some Matic in my ledger-based Polygon wallet through MetaMask. You know, we can do Phantom chain on in MetaMask, right? We can interact with Phantom, and we can also interact with Avalanche C chain, which is also based on the EVM as being the Ethereum virtual machine, right? So Avalanche is more than just Avalanche C, right? There's Avalanche X and P and C, but if you want to just deal with the Avalanche C chain, you can do that in MetaMask, right? And then, of course, our old friend Binance Smart Chain is also manageable in MetaMask, right? All right, so we were gonna let's do this. Let's see what happens when we do this, right? The gigs, right? Let's sign up for the beta. See what they're. Okay. Okay. Ledger Connect beta test. Oh, I guess this is a for your mobile app, right? So let's put it in there. All right, the CryptoDad@gmail.com. Let's see what happens. Are they going to let me download it? Okay, I guess that means when it's available. All right, so it's not quite ready yet. I thought it was going to be a browser extension in my browser, right? The Ledger. There was a lot of talk about the Coinbase wallet extension that was compatible with Ledger, and then a lot of people thought, oh, you can buy coins on Coinbase and put them in your Ledger. It's not really, because the Coinbase wallet was not the Coinbase exchange. Coinbase wallet is like an ERC20, well, an Ethereum based wallet that's not Coinbase exchange. Right? But anyway, there was a lot of confusion about that, people. And Ledger and Coinbase were more than willing to let people be confused about it because they wanted publicity or whatever. It's like Coinbase and Ledger, yay! Well, it was their wallet, not their exchange. But anyway, I don't know if they're going to send me like an email or whatever. We'll find out. I was hoping maybe I could do a little demo on this. We'll see. It'll be on the mobile version, right? So I use an iPhone, right? You can see my iPhone right here, and I do have the Ledger app, right? And the Ledger app has recently been updated, and they just updated the update, right? Because before this new version of the Ledger wallet, I just didn't like it at all because it didn't give me access to the things that I wanted on the home screen, and now it does. I think before, I don't remember, I think it was, see, they've rearranged it now, so now I can't figure where it was before. But before, you went to a certain section and then you could access your transaction history. Well, now they've sort of put the transaction history right there on the home page. Right, so it's kind of cool. So a lot of people get confused between the Ledger app and the Ledger Live, the desktop version, and they'll say things like, oh, the wallets are out of sync, right? Because it's easy to do, right? So how do we sync these? You can do them, basically, you can connect via Bluetooth to your Ledger device to set up the accounts on this mobile version, right? You can do them one at a time, right? But that may not always be perfectly in sync with what you've got going on over here in Ledger Live. So how would you easily sync the two? Well, it's not that difficult, actually. So why don't we, I'll show you real quick. It doesn't look like I have that many. See, I'm still having trouble with this. All right, so let's go to wallet. Let's see if I can. All right, I'm going to remove this. Let's remove this. They're making it hard on me. Okay. Let's remove this one. Okay. It would be nice if I could. Ugh, okay. Let's go ahead and remove this one. This one. If I can get, well, I don't know, maybe I could have just deleted it and then just may have been easier. Yeah, so there's a bunch of these. I don't know how many, I don't know how much longer can I do this? Let me just grab these Ethereum accounts, and that should get rid of quite a few of them. All right, so then there's some little ones here. Let's just, all right, there's Scott's favorite Digibyte. Okay, we're getting down to the brass tacks here. Okay, I'll get rid of the Vert coin, which never really went anywhere. And then these sort of stray coins. All right, there we go. All right, now I've got everything removed from my Ledger mobile app, right? And so what I would like to do, and I don't even know how to do this anymore. Let's see if I can do it this way. Let's see. It used to be an ad account. There it is. There we go. All right. So when you install this and you've already got Ledger Live going over on your desktop, you can bring everything over onto your phone from Ledger Live desktop. It's pretty easy. Now, I know a lot of people don't even have a computer and they're just using a Ledger with their phone, right? That's different, right? I would just I could add an asset by connecting with my Ledger device, right? And then just pairing it with Bluetooth and doing the add account. And that's a bit tedious. That would take me a while, but we can do it by clicking add asset and then import from desktop, which is pretty cool. So basically what I need to do here is I need to go to Ledger Live, go to accounts, and hit export. And then I'm going to get this funky QR, this dynamic QR code, right? So let's just move it over here for a sec so you can see what I'm doing, right? And I'll just put the phone up here. Notice the progress bar down below as it's importing all of the accounts. If I can hold my phone steady here, it will import all of those accounts from Ledger Live into my phone app. And they should all have the same names that they had in Ledger Live. All right, so now I can just hit import. And there it goes, right? Now I've got all of the accounts that I have in Ledger Live on my phone, and they should be synced, right? So when I go to portfolio and I look at the portfolio in Ledger Live, it should be the same that I see on my phone. And I think that's what kind of freaks people out a little when they look at their phone and they go, hey, it's not synced with Ledger Live. It doesn't have the same balances, right? But that's how you do it. That's really an easy way to just import everything over from Ledger Live onto your phone app, right? Let's see. Does it have? See, it's still syncing. That's weird. That would be so weird if it doesn't totally sync up with Ledger Live. Maybe I didn't get everything. Maybe I went too fast. Let's just pull some more Oh no, there it goes. There it goes. Boom. There. See, we got it. Right. Now it's in sync. Almost. There's still like, it's still not down to the penny, but it's darn close. All right. That's how you do that. What are my concerns about Bluetooth? A lot of people ask me this. They're worried that the Bluetooth could be an attack vector. But the first thing I'll say is that the private key does not get transmitted across Bluetooth, right? The only thing that the private key is stored on the device, either whether you're using Ledger Live or whether you're using the mobile app, the private key never leaves the device, right? So the only thing that goes across the cable or goes across Bluetooth if you're out on the go and you're using your Ledger Live mobile app is a request and an approval, right? What's called a you have a request. I'm trying to think. I'm using the right terminology here. You get a request to for a signature, basically, of the private key. That request goes across Bluetooth, and then from the app to your device. And then your device, you'll see the confirmation on the device, right, if you're using the app. And then the device will sign the transaction, and then once the transaction is signed, it's cryptographically signed and then encrypted or whatever it does. And then it sends that signed transaction back to the app for the approval. And then the wallet can send out the Bitcoin, right? So the private key stays on the device, right? So there is no... at no point is the private key being sent across Bluetooth, so there's no way that anybody can snoop that Bluetooth transaction and steal your private key. That's not the way the device works, right? So in that sense, you're safe, right? Because the private key never leaves the device. Doesn't matter if you're using Bluetooth or the cable, right? The only weakness might be, possibly, and I'm not even sure how viable this is that somebody could be within Bluetooth range while you're signing a transaction and be totally aware of what you're doing and somehow capture that authorization. But I really don't know what they could do with that signed transaction, to be honest with you. Possibly, if they're like super hackers, they could somehow alter the signed transaction to, and if that's even possible, right? I don't even know if that's even possible, because there's hashes and things that, like, if you know about a hash, like the blockchain works like if there's a hash in the transaction and the transaction gets altered in any way, the hash won't match and the transaction will be rejected. That's how the Bitcoin blockchain works. And I'm assuming that there's similar cryptographic mechanisms in a signed transaction as well. So that even if he could somehow grab that signed transaction and he tries to alter the address of the transaction and send it to his own wallet instead of sending it wherever you're trying to send it, right? If you're trying to send it from your wallet to a friend's wallet or your wallet to an exchange or whatever, and somehow this Bluetooth attacker that just happens to know that you're using it and he's sitting there in the coffee shop right next to you and somehow intercepts that Bluetooth and then somehow is able to alter the transaction and put in his own address, that would be a possible attack vector. But like I said, I don't even think he could do that because the signed transaction has a hash, and if you try to alter that, then the hash won't match and the transaction would be rejected. But I don't know if that's the case or not. But that would be the only attack vector that I could see. And that's a very specific, very thin attack vector, right? They would have to know who you are. They would have to know that you're about to do a Bitcoin transaction, right? They would have to be physically following you so that they could be within Bluetooth range. I mean, there's a lot that depends on that. That's a very thin attack vector. Not impossible, not out of the realm of possibility, but very, very a remote attack vector, right? Most people don't know what the hell you're doing with your phone most of the time. Anyway, right. All of these securities are built into blockchain technology, right? That's what makes crypto so amazing, is all this cryptography that goes into these back and forth transactions, right? That's what public-private key cryptography is all about, right? So yeah, I don't worry that much about the Bluetooth. People are always worried, oh my God, Bluetooth, they're going to steal your crypto. How? Right? Anyway, I hope that helps. So we synced up that. Let's see what else we can do tonight. Let's see. I wanted to, let's see. I guess I didn't have much else on the agenda besides some stuff I wanted to play around with. Someone had asked me about XRP and Sologenic and everything. They had asked me, and I lost what they wanted. I don't know if I can find it again. It was XRP something. See, I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to find this or not. This is the only DEX that I know of. I guess it was somebody in one of my comment sections that were asking me about this. So I don't know. I wish I hadn't closed it. Let me see if I can. Oops. I'm just going to see if I can figure this out real quick. No, it's like not. I was doing some. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to find this. There was some other kind of XRP thing he was asking me about, which I can't find now, which looked to me like a DEX of some kind. But there's the Sologenic DEX that I can use with my device. So let's just check in on that. People are always asking me about Spark and Solo and everything. I don't know that I did what I was supposed to do to get Spark tokens, right? I don't know. Let's take a look. Let's zoom in here. Oops. We're going to go ahead and try a little, just checking up, right? Of course, I can look at Ledger Live and go to my XRP account and see that I have, and you can't see it because it's behind here. You can see that I have XRP, right? On this device, there's an XRP account with some XRP in there. But I can also use the XRP app to interact with a third-party wallet. So let's do that. Let's go back here. I'm going to go ahead and get into the XRP app. Oops. Right, and so I'm in XRP app, and I'm going to go to this Sologenic DEX. I'll hit Launch DEX, and then it says Connect Wallet, and now this is where I connect to my Ledger device. It sees this account. Let's try it. Connect. And looky there. Whoops, what happened? What just happened? Oh, okay. 4,476. 4,488. I think there's kind of a discrepancy with their XRP wallet always has a certain amount that's locked. So maybe that's what they're accounting for here. But notice this Sologenic. I own some Sologenic, but the only way that I can see that Sologenic is in the Sologenic DEX. And it's definitely there. And I might be able to like see if there's any airdrops or something like that. But I can view my Sologenic balance using this web interface in conjunction with my device. Now, the crypto, the XRP, and the Sologenic are really not exposed. None of the crypto is being stored, quote unquote, on this website. The crypto is not really stored, quote unquote, on my device either, but the private keys are, right? So you could claim that there might be some risk connecting to this DEX because there might be some sort of hack on this DEX, but they would have to trick me into authorizing something on the device, right? So in my mind, it's just as secure as using Ledger Live to manage my XRP. And it would be nice if the Ledger Live XRP app could show me XRP tokens, but it does not. Right? Now it does show me Polygon tokens. Notice here that if I go to Polygon, and let me just turn this off for a sec. There's Polygon on my device, and as you can see, there's some tokens that my Ledger Live does recognize as being Matic tokens or Polygon tokens, right? And there we go. I have 917 Matic. But where have you seen that before? Remember when we were playing around with MetaMask earlier? Let's go ahead and bring it into a browser tab so we can see it a little better. If we switch over to the Polygon mainnet, notice this ledger H right here. Notice the address. It ends in 78BD. It's the same one as here. If I do a receive, there's that address, 478BD. Interesting, isn't it? Now, it's also the exact same address as my Ledger, or as my Ethereum wallet, because they're all running on the Ethereum virtual machine. Whoops, wrong one, sorry. I got more than one. All right, let's go over here. Notice this Ethereum wallet has the exact same address, right? Because they're all on this device, right? So this device, when I set up an Ethereum account, or I set up a Polygon account, or I set up a Binance Smart Chain account on this device, they're all going to have the same address because they all run on the same Ethereum virtual machine, and they use the same address format. Right? I don't think I have a Binance Smart Chain account. Oh yeah, here. Let's see what this address is. Yeah, same, right? So let's see. If we go over, I should have 0.08 BNB in this same account, right? The ledger H. Let's go over to Binance Smart Chain. Let's take a look. Lo and behold, there it is, right? Same address, right? But on the Binance Smart Chain, because the Binance Smart Chain runs on the Ethereum Virtual Machine, EVM. And when I'm using my Ledger device, like I've already connected my hardware wallet to my MetaMask, I can view all of these chains and all of these balances and a certain amount of transaction history using MetaMask connected to my Ledger device. And I can see mirror images of them over here in Ledger Live, right? Ledger Live does not give me all the functionality of MetaMask, but that's how we can go back and forth. It kind of gives you a better feel for how this device works. And let's also talk a little bit about Cosmos. For quite a while, Ledger was not working with Cosmos or Ledger Live, right? It was giving you bad balance information. They've apparently fixed that. Not only can I see my Atom balance, but I can also see my staking, right? But I didn't set this up in Ledger Live. I set this up over in Kepler. Let's go back up here. Let's go over to the Cosmos ledger. There's my balance, 5.4 available and 10.5 staked. I can see this in Kepler. This is where I actually did the staking in Kepler, but I can also see the exact same wallet over in Ledger Live, and lo and behold, they even know. Available 5.4, delegated they called, or staked 10.5, right? They even see that it's stakefish, right? Which I can also see over in Kepler, right? If we go to Kepler and go to stake for Atom, see there's my stakefish. That's where I'm staking my Atom, right? So two different interfaces, the exact same wallet, all being managed on my ledger. I had a good friend of mine that said, oh, I'd like to buy some ADA, but I understand that I can't use Ledger Live to view my ADA. And that I hate that, right? That's what she said. And I get that, right? Most people just kind of, if they have crypto that they've got stored on their ledger, they just want to see it in Ledger Live. It's natural, right? But I should point out to you that Ledger Live is a great resource where you can look at a lot of your crypto in one interface and kind of look at, you know, the current value of that and all that good stuff. But it's not a very powerful and versatile tool for managing your crypto and or trading or swapping your crypto and or staking your crypto. You can sort of do it, but if you remember, you could stake in Cosmos, but then it was broken for a while. So I tend to sort of rely on the more powerful tools like MetaMask and Kepler for doing that stuff. And another thing I'm going to point out about Ledger Live, which I find very irritating, right? If we go to Polkadot, it gives me, what is this, right? I can look at my portfolio and then it can say, oh, your portfolio is down 53% or whatever that means. Is that for the month, right? And I guess that if I hadn't done anything, if I hadn't moved anything at all, that would be a good indicator for me that, okay, my portfolio's down, 53% over the last month, right? But that's not all. There's more to that going on than just that, right? There's the fact that I'm moving things in and out of the wallet, and then they take that into account, which is, to me, I don't think that's very productive, right? They're just assuming I'm going to stick stuff in my wallet and just leave it there, and then their little percentages are going to be useful to me. Look at this one, Polkadot. Why in the heck is my Polkadot portfolio up 1,613% over the last month? Well, it's because I just put some in there, right? I put 46 DOT in there a few days ago. So, oh wow, look, your portfolio's up. Well, yeah, I know that. I put it in there. I don't really need to know that so Ledger Live is really not the greatest portfolio manager out there, right? Because moving things in and out of the wallet gets taken into account when they give you these percentages, right? I don't find that very useful because I know that it's up because I moved it in there myself. So I don't need Ledger Live to tell me that. Whatever. Sorry. I get on my high horse sometimes, right? Where do I stake ADA? You can, if you have ADA, I stopped using Daedalus Daedalus took too long to sync, because even when you use your hardware device, it still downloads an entire ADA blockchain onto your computer. There are a couple of ways I could look at my ADA balance. They're third-party wallets, right? So let's just take a quick look at what's going on with my ADA. Let's get out of the Ethereum app. Oh, it wanted me to open the Ethereum app because I went into the, if I can get out of this, because I was in my Ethereum wallet in Ledger Live, it was asking me to open that. Let's go to ADA. Now there are a few ways to look at ADA that's on your device. You could use Daedalus, right? If you want to use Daedalus wallet and pair up to your device, you can do that. But like I said, Daedalus takes forever to download the blockchain to your computer, and sometimes it gets stuck for days. So I kind of gave up on Daedalus, and it sort of soured my opinion of ADA, because I figure if the ADA developers can't create a decent wallet, what good is their blockchain if they can't even like do a good wallet? But ADA Lite is what I usually use. All right, it's a Cardano wallet. Now you can do a standalone ADA Lite wallet, and they'll give you a recovery phrase, and you write it down, store it in a safe place. But it's not really a very secure way to manage your ADA. Best way is to pair it with your hardware device, right? They support Trezor, Bitbox, and Ledger, right? I'm already in the ADA app, right? So we'll hit unlock with Ledger, and then it's going to ask me to export the public keys. So I'll just go over here. Oh, I just hit both buttons for that. All right, we'll do that. And it gives me access to the ADA wallet that I've created on my Ledger device. Actually, I created that using Daedalus, right? But I can interface with it using ADA Lite, which is pretty cool, right? This is just kind of a small wallet. I've got some other ADA wallets on other devices and that sort of thing, but this is some ADA that I got currently stored on my device and that I'm staking. I believe this is being staked right now. So you can take a look. You know, we've got some staking rewards that are pending, right? There's also another wallet that you can use, which is kind of an up-and-coming wallet that only worked with Sunday Swap, right? Cardano Lite wallet. The interesting thing about this Eternal wallet is that I don't even need to connect the device to look at my existing balances, right? I would need to have the device connected if I wanted to trade or stake or transfer, but I can just open up this wallet and take a look at that ADA wallet, this one here. Yeah, it's telling me I have 60, right, which is 54 plus 5, or the total balance of 60, right? So two different wallets, or two different interfaces, one wallet, one device, right? Private keys are held on the device, very easy way to manage. And then you've got like staking interfaces in both of these wallets, but I like ADA Lite, right? So you could, I guess, delegate to a new, well, I don't know how you choose validators. And I actually, the Daedalus wallet had a pretty good staking interface. It allows you to choose your delegator and that sort of stuff. So I don't know how you do it here. I haven't ever actually done it, to be honest with you. So yeah, ADA, I've sort of given up on ADA, to be honest. Of course, I'll probably regret that in the future when ADA moons again. All right, so we were talking about staking a little bit. Someone had asked me about Axie Infinity and their blockchain, and so you have to, like, if you go here to Axie Infinity, and then you look here. They do have this Ronin chain, so I was a little curious about how that worked. So we might play around with that just a tad, but I want to see if anybody has any burning questions. Do I stake ADA for Sunday too? No, I'm not staking anything in there. Let's check. I bought some Sunday swap token. Right, you have to use, it's connected to the Eternal wallet, right? So, but I can view my Sunday swap in tokens, right? If we look here, we go to token list. I've got some airdrops, but you can see I've got some Sunday swap here too, right? I bought some Sunday swap, but I'm not staking in any of these pools. I did not add any liquidity in the Sunday swap. Right. I bought some Sunday swap, and I probably could do this Sunday ADA, but I was not very impressed with Sunday swap. It's not the greatest DEX out there, and the value of the Sunday swap token has tanked. But I mean, I can't blame it all on Sunday swap because the entire market has tanked. But my Sunday swap, I spent a lot of ADA on Sunday swap, and it was a bad deal, right? Because if I had kept that ADA, it would be worth a lot more than the Sunday swap that I bought back then, right? I had great hopes for Sunday swap being the first ADA DEX, but it was. The release was just a train wreck, right? You couldn't trade, you couldn't do anything on it. It was just horrible. It might work now, but first impressions, leave a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth, and mine especially. I was very disappointed with this DEX. And when I finally did buy some Sunday swap, thinking that it would have a great rise, I'm still disappointed when I look at how much it's worth. Right. Anyway, we all deal with this sort of thing. You gotta roll with the punches, so to speak. I made it through the crypto winter of 2018 and saw my coins have a great rise after 2 years of being negative, 2.5 years. So patience pays off, right? XRP agent is here tonight. Thought I'd pop in and say hi. Always good to learn from you. Keep up the good work. William, your favorite real estate agent in California. That's cool. Yeah, it's good to have you back, William. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're making a killing out there in the Los Angeles real estate market. I moved to Michigan where things are much cheaper. Good to have you here. Where can I put it? Bitcoin single moms. Okay. Don't pay taxes on it. Should we get our coins off Coinbase? Yeah. All right. So let's just talk a little bit about moving your coins. The first thing that people wonder about their coins when they move them from an exchange to the wallet is that they're going to get taxed. And you don't get taxed when you move coins, right? You only get taxed when you sell coins or trade them, right? Or swap them, right? So if you have Bitcoin on Coinbase and you move it into your wallet, then this is not a taxable event, right? So I use a ledger device, so I can manage my Bitcoin pretty well in Ledger Live. And that's where I tend to do it. So we can transfer Bitcoin from Coinbase to our wallet, and there's no tax on that. You can also store Bitcoin in Trust Wallet. Talked about Trust Wallet earlier. Let's see here. Yeah, Trust Wallet. Let's see. Why don't we move some Bitcoin to Trust Wallet, just for the heck of it? So let's go over here to, first of all, let's get the Bitcoin address of our Trust wallet from our phone. And I want to do a receive. There's the Bitcoin address of my Trust wallet. I'm going to put some Bitcoin in here, but I need to share that address with myself so that I can have access to it from my computer, right? So I'm going to do that share. I'm basically going to send that address. And let's just leave this one here. Let's go over to Coinbase Pro. Let's buy some Bitcoin, right? You can see here I've got some US dollar in my account. So let's just trade for Bitcoin real quick. Our BTC US dollar pair. Let's do 100. All right, we'll place the buy order. And now we go back over to portfolio, and you can see I've got some Bitcoin now. Didn't cost me that much, like 40 cents to make the trade, right? Let's go to my email. Okay, that's from me, right? There's that BTC address of my Trust wallet. All right, now we can go back to Coinbase and do a withdraw of our Bitcoin. Right, so you got Bitcoin on an exchange, and we want to put it in our own wallet. So the first thing I did was go to the wallet and get the receiving address. Right, now I'm on the exchange. I'm going to withdraw that to my own wallet. So there's, I need to put in the address. There it is. And then we can look at our wallet. Let's do that receive one more time. And just kind of eyeball that address, right? It ends in MGW9N. There it is, GW9N. I'm satisfied that that is the correct address. Let's go ahead and withdraw all the Bitcoin. We'll hit withdraw, and then I'll put in my two-factor over on my Google Authenticator. There it is. Hope I got that right. Yeah. All right, there that goes. Kitty's meowing over there. Let's go back to Trust. Now, it might be a bit before we actually see the Bitcoin arrive in my Trust wallet. But Trust Wallet is free, right? If you have a smartphone, you can download the Trust Wallet app, and you can drop Bitcoin in there, you can drop Ethereum in there, you can drop ERC20 tokens in there, you can drop Binance coin in there, Binance Smart Chain coin, all kinds of different chains are supported in the Trust Wallet. The only drawback is that the private key is stored on your phone, so it's vulnerable in that sense, you know. I believe there are some there's some malware out there that could probably, you might be vulnerable, probably more on the Android side than on the iOS side, but there are iOS hacks too. Let's see if we can, it might be a little bit before that comes in, so we can talk about other stuff. Good to have you here, William. Cardano has many tokens from Drip Drops, Stripper Coin, Cardano, Bison Coin, just to name a few. I received 65 different tokens. Yeah, Dan is the one that told me about Drip Drops. And if we go over here, oops, to Eternal, you can see that I got a bunch of drops. Although I found out that like this is a standalone one. I wasn't able to get any drops on this because this wallet isn't currently staking anything. So I was only able to get those drops. Where's that token list? Yeah. by going on to drip drops, and they will only they'll only airdrop you wallets that you're currently staking. Right? I don't know that any of these coins are worth anything right now, but they may be someday. Right? It's always fun to play around with drops, right? So let's see here, staking. Okay, so if you can stake in Eternal, and you can choose validators, that's pretty cool. So Eternal seems to be a little more versatile as far as choosing staking validators go, if you want to stake your ADA. Right? And then we talked a little bit about Kepler wallet. If I want to stake my Cosmos, we can go over here. And I can stake Cosmos. These are the validators. These are the people that are running servers that have nodes. And the more people staking with them, you know, the more robust their server, their validator. There's all kinds of tokenomics questions when you're staking that you have to kind of keep in mind when choosing a validator. Like, what is their commission? You'll notice here there's 100% commission on this one, Kraken one, and that's because they don't need any other stakers, right? They're full. So don't stake with someone that has 100% commission, because they'll take all of the rewards, right? There's no point in staking someone that's going to take 100% of the rewards, right? So basically they're getting rewarded, their nodes get rewarded, and then they allocate out to all of the people that are staking with them. So, but they take a small piece of the action, right, for being the people that are actually running the nodes, right? So in the case of Stakefish, they're taking 4% of the allocated rewards that would normally be given to me, right? So if there's 100 people staking, and I'm one of those people, and then, you know, Stakefish gets a reward, they're going to allocate out to the people that are staking. They probably, you know, and they're going to take 4% of that, all right? So my 1% gets a 4% commission on top of it, right? So whatever it is, right? So, but that's not all that goes into choosing a validator, right? You want to look at the validator, and I believe you can go to their website and find out, you know, what's their uptime. How are they up 100% of the time? Are they up 50% of the time, right? You don't want someone that's up 50% of the time, because if they're not current, if their server isn't up 50% of the time, or if they're down, then they're only going to be getting half the, you know, available rewards, right? So are they, you know, what is their uptime, right? You can look at that over here too. Get rid of this, or maybe you can't, like right here. Then their voting power, how many people are staking with them, right? That's all very important stuff. Oh, JDO's here, welcome. Bitcoin single moms, this is gold, that's good. I still haven't gotten that Bitcoin yet. Not yet. It should appear. Actually, if you're wondering where your Bitcoin is, right? If you're like, hey, where's that Bitcoin I sent? I sent it 2 minutes ago. Where is it? You can go back over to Coinbase, and you can look at withdrawals, and you can see that it's still pending. The outgoing Bitcoin is pending. It might be pending for a while, for all I know, right? So we have to be patient. There's my destination. Let's see. I can look on the blockchain. Received, sent, balance. Oh, there is a balance that's unconfirmed. Interesting. We're still waiting for a total confirmation. Everything on the Bitcoin blockchain is transparent. You could look at all of this. All right. But I'll let you know when I see it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, see? Boom. Looks like there was a small withdrawal fee when we withdrew from Coinbase, but still $99.50 worth of Bitcoin in my Trust wallet, right? So now you can look at Trust wallet. You can see I've got Trust Wallet token, which is BEP20. That's Binance Smart Chain. Right? I've got the Reef token, which is also Binance Smart Chain based token. I've got Bitcoin, which is on the Bitcoin blockchain, which is supported on Trust Wallet. So, and then we got Raven Coin, which is on its own blockchain, supported in Trust Wallet. BNB, we got this BNB token, which is the BNB BEP2 chain, which is also supported in Trust Wallet. Kava, Ethereum, a lot of good coins are supported on Trust Wallet. It's a great wallet. Just make sure you write down that backup phrase, keep it in a safe place in case you lose your phone or you accidentally delete the app, right? If you delete the app, you'll need to restore when you reinstall the app, right? But it's free, right? Just don't lose your phone. It's funny, I was out at I went with my daughter on a camping trip, right? And I had my phone out. And I don't know if any of you find anything strange about my phone. That's not it. No. Okay, it's not going to work. Can you find anything strange about this phone that might be different from your phone? You notice I don't use a case, right? And if you look closely, you'll see that I don't use I forget what they call the screen protector, right? The glass, whatever they call those things, the screen protector, right? I gave up cases a while back, but I used the screen protector. But then I decided I didn't like the screen protector anymore. We call that going commando in the tech world, right? On your phone. But anyway, I had my phone out at the campfire, and one of the kids goes, "You don't have a case on your phone." She's like, "Aren't you worried?" I'm like, "No." And you know what I said? You know why? Because I don't drop my phone. I'm like, "Well, how do you not drop your phone?" Well, you tell yourself, don't drop your phone. I'm going to drop my phone. And the other thing about crypto, a lot of people, they'll go, "What? Aren't you worried keeping crypto on your phone?" And I'll say no. And they'll go, "Why not?" I'll say, "Because I don't lose my phone." How is that? I mean, how? And they'll say, "Well, how can you not lose your phone?" It's like, because you make a decision and you say, "I won't lose my phone." Right? I'm not going to leave my phone. I can't imagine leaving my phone. I never would lose my phone. Am I putting my phone down in a bathroom and then leaving? Right? Am I am I putting my phone on picnic tables and walking away? How will you lose your phone? I don't get it. It's either in my pocket or in my hand, or it's over here on my little charging stand. I mean, maybe when I'm at home, I might walk away from my phone occasionally, but not out and about. You just don't lose your phone, right? So my phone is very important. It also has my Google Authenticator on it, right? So don't lose your phone if you're using Google Authenticator. Now, there are ways to back up Google Authenticator, right? If I go to Google Authenticator and hit these three dots, I can export my accounts. And it goes in stages. Like for every 10 accounts, it gives you a QR code. Well, if you're using this screen software, like I'm using, XMirage, if I can make it come up again, which I don't know if I can. I'm not going to do it. But XMirage is the software that I use to share my phone screen with all of you on my computer screen. I can look at that QR code and take a screenshot and then save that QR code as a JPEG or a GIF or whatever, and then put it on a flash drive in case I lose my phone. So there are ways of backing up your QR codes. And usually when you set up two-factor on a website or something, they give you a key code that you can also save, right? So be responsible, be mindful, don't lose your phone, back everything up, that kind of stuff. You need to be an adult, right? We live in a society where it's very easy to be careless, right? Don't be careless. Right? People are so used to being able to pick up the phone and call tech support, or I lost my phone, I lost my password, I lost my driver's license, I lost my ATM card, you know. Okay, you know, you get it replaced or whatever, you know. So dependent on the system, right? Crypto is all about self-custody, self-responsibility, right? Don't lose your backup phrase. Don't lose your ledger device. Don't lose your phone, all that kind of stuff. Take it from me. Liquid glass, something like that, yeah. I have dropped my phone without the case. Things are so thin as to be slippery. I have to say I have dropped my phone. I would probably say I've dropped my phone maybe 3 times over the last year or so that I can that I can remember, but it was always like on a carpet or something. Back in the like 5 or 10 years ago, I had a phone. I had dropped my phone on a pavement several times and had broken the glass and cracked the glass and had to get it repaired, right? And that got expensive. And then I ended up buying a new phone, and then I was all about the case for a while, and then finally I just said, look, man, there's no more case, just don't drop your phone. And it's been, I haven't had a case on my phone for like 3 or 4 years now, if I recall, and it's still intact. Laminated paper backups are also good. There are several ways to back up phrases. There's crypto steel, you know, where you set it in metal. There's, I don't know if I have that here. I don't know where it is. But I've done several videos on seed phrase backup media. Usually it's on some kind of metal so that it's fireproof, waterproof, that kind of thing. You just need to store those in a safe place where no one's going to find them. Right? Don't get drunk. That's a good one. I don't get drunk outside the house. I mean, I might drink a few beers at home, but I don't go out to bars and drink. I guess if you're like a heavy bar drinker, I could see how you might lose your phone, right? Because you're like playing with your phone and you're drunk in a bar. You could, you know, drop it or leave it on the bar and walk to the bathroom and forget about it. Oh, yeah, so just don't get drunk. Yeah. Just added to the Eternal wallet and love the way it shows all 66 of my worthless drip drops token. Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, so let's see. We talked about ADA. We talked about, I guess, I don't know if I want to do secret tonight. I do have some secret tokens in my Kepler wallet, and they're not staked at the moment. I also have some Sienna tokens, right? So let's go ahead and I'll claim some tokens on Sienna and show you how that works. I don't believe I've ever showed you guys this, but we can go to Secret Swap, and it connects to my Kepler wallet. Now, this Kepler wallet is connected to my Ledger device, right? So we can easily, sort of easily, yeah, there we go. I can delete this wallet or the account. I have to get the password. All right, that's good. All right, now Kepler has disconnected from my device, so I'm going to just reconnect to my Ledger device, right? Because that Kepler wallet is based on my Ledger. So let's go over here. Let's go ahead and get out of the whatever app I was just in. I think it was Ada, right? Let's go over to Cosmos. Oops. All right, there's the Cosmos app. Let's go ahead and hit both buttons there. We're in Cosmos app. Let's import a ledger into Kepler. We can call this whatever we want. All right, and I can give it a name. Oops, and a password. Next, and I don't know that Kepler needs me to do anything there. Okay, it goes back there. All right, so there, boom, we're back. Right, let's get rid of this stuff. Sort of. Okay. All right, let's just do it this so you can see. All right, so it reconnected to my Ledger device, and it even sees the secret that's based on this ledger. We can see here that I have Atom. We talked about the Atom earlier, and how I can also see that same Atom account in Ledger Live, right? They call it Cosmos. Right? But Ledger Live does not support secret token, but Kepler does. So I can switch over to Secret Network and see my 569 secret tokens, right? And I can connect my Kepler wallet. Let's click to connect. That Kepler wallet balance is now available. So I can swap secret. So we see secret. Oh, SCRT. Let's see how that works. Okay, yeah. So there's native secret, right? There's my balance, and I could buy their that S secret, which you can stake, right? And then let's see, what kind of pools do they have here? Huh, okay. Provide, withdraw. Ah, okay. Oh, I see. So I can do pairs, right? So I could do S secret and Sienna, right? Right. If I wanted to do that, I could do liquidity pairs on Secret. Secret is a great blockchain built on privacy from the ground up, so it's pretty cool. So let's go over here and just check out Sienna. If we go to Sienna and we go to let's go to Sienna Swap. Let's go to the pool. And you can see Sienna also has liquidity pairs, right? So we could do that over here in Sienna. Let's go to rewards. They also have a single stake pool, right? If I go to my reward pair, I got some Sienna in the single stake pool. It's been a while since I've been in here, so I believe I've got some pending rewards, right? There's 4.4 Sienna available. Let's go ahead and claim those. Let's see if that works. It's been a while. I'll go ahead and claim these rewards, and I'm going to need to verify that on the device. Notice that the Kepler wallet comes up. I'm going to do high gas fees because the average doesn't always work. So I'm going to do high gas fees, which is 7 cents worth of secret. Right, I'm going to splurge. Notice it comes up on my device. Please review. Let's go over here. There's the account. There's all kinds of information there. All right. And then messages, sender. There's my fee. There's the gas. Let's hit approve. And then that 4 Sienna should be added to my balance. I really like single staking pools as opposed to liquidity pools. Liquidity pools are a little more risky because they depend on the price of 2 coins. Let's go back to rewards here. Let's go here. So I should have more. Let's refresh this. Okay, there we go. All right, so 192 Sienna. I guess that was more than I had before. I wasn't really paying attention. So, but you can see I claimed the rewards, and they moved from rewards into my wallet. Right. So I like single staking tokens because I can just set and forget, right? And keep in mind the price of Sienna has tanked over this whole crypto mayhem, but I'm still earning my percentage of Sienna, so I'll just keep scooping up that Sienna until the price recovers, and then I'll be okay. If it ever recovers, which it could be someday. And then, like we were considering, maybe if we go here, we can do stake, right? So you can see there's that Sienna, that it sees the staked Sienna now. That's pretty cool. Oh, it still shows that. Oh, I see. So I haven't restaked that balance yet, right? Is that right? Yeah. So if I want to, yeah, see that 4.5 Sienna? I can put it back in to the staking pool if I want, right? And stake. We'll hit that. We'll deposit that in. There's our, I'm going to go high on the fees and hit approve. I'll confirm on the device. It's a long one. Hit approve, both buttons. So, and I just did 75 so you can, it's easier to wrap your head around it. You can see what went in and what didn't. All right, let's go back here. The interface is a little funky, but I'll get over it. So there's my deposit has gotten bigger. Right? And if we go to the Kepler wallet, we can take a look and see here that now there's a little bit of Sienna left in the wallet, and my staking balance has gotten higher. Right? It was 192, now it's 195. So it's not auto stake, right? You got to claim and restake if you want to do that. Or I could have just like sold that 5 Sienna if I wanted to like take profits. But when the coin is so far down, it's not worth it to me. That's why I like single staking pools, right? Because you can kind of set and forget. Notice I also have that shard coin. I think I bought that on, let's see, if we go here, Shade. Actually, no, yeah, there's not much you can do on their website. But you can buy their token on Secret. I believe that's where I bought it. So, Secret for, what is it? Shard? I forget the ticker symbol of this guy, if I can find it. Let me go back here, sorry. Shade. Let's see if I can figure out what it is. Oops. Here it is, Shade Protocol. SHD, okay. SHD. Ah, there it is. So, you know, I could buy some more on Secret Swap. I just bought a little bit of it just to buy some and have some. And then someday when this site gets like has more functionality, you know, I'll play around with that a little more. So privacy stuff is cool, right? Monero, we talked about Monero a couple weeks back. Very decentralized, very private. I think there's you know, a future in the privacy coins, right? What with all of the surveillance state stuff going on in the world today, people are going to be clamoring for more privacy on the blockchain, right? That's why people carry cash, right? So they don't have to worry about everything they buy being tracked, right? Doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means you want privacy. Who doesn't? Everybody wants privacy. Okay, I'm going to turn this little camera off here. I'm getting tired of holding this thing up. I'm a little bit over tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed. I'm just going to jump in and just kind of see what people are talking about. People tend to jump in at the last minute anymore. Let's see. Let's keep it on secret. That's pretty cool, Secret Swap. Dad's going to take off his belt if you don't listen. Yeah, I've never spanked my kids. I've yelled at them a few times, and I regret that. I try to be a loving father, right? A lot of people, you know, the title of my channel is CryptoDad, right? So what does it mean to be a dad? I've met a lot of other fathers that look at fatherhood as some sort of dictatorship, and they have to like order their children around like their word is the law, and like they're sit down, stand up, you know, like they're just very, and I don't take that that's not my take on what fatherhood is about. I think that the father's responsibility is to love and protect and teach, but I tend to let my children have their make their own decisions, so to speak, right? I'm not the rule of law in the household, right? Love them, protect them, nurture them, you know, teach them. It's the best way to be a dad. Thanks, guys. Dad, Bitcoin. Yeah, I don't even trust myself or my brain, but that's one of the values of Bitcoin for me personally. I don't trust anyone. I just need my 4-year-old to be able to get seed keys if I die. That's right. Yeah, you got to make sure everyone knows how to access your crypto. I was listening to a comedian the other day, and he was like, my wife and I just adopted a 5-year-old Chinese child, and everyone was like, oh, that's so nice of you. And he goes, yeah, I need help with the apps on my phone. And this kid is smart. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me tonight. I hope that you could hear me fine. Looks like we stayed connected the whole time without any disconnect, reconnects. And I hope you got some confidence in yourself watching me. And don't worry too much about the market. Just stay true to yourself. Oh, the Bitcoin transfer came through. I thought I showed you guys that. The Bitcoin transfer to Trust Wallet completed. We got it. Everything's good, right? We could send that back to Coinbase if we needed to at any point, right? That would be pretty simple, right? If I wanted to send that back to Coinbase, we just go over here and do a deposit of Bitcoin. And with Trust Wallet, it's really easy because they give you a QR code. So I could just open up the camera there, scan in that Bitcoin, and max it out, and just send it right back to Coinbase if I wanted to. I won't do that because it cost me another 50 cents. I'll just leave it in this wallet for a while. But sending it back from your wallet is trivial. Pretty easy. That's one nice thing about Trust Wallet, is that scanning feature is built in, right? Send, and then I hit that little, over there right next to the word paste, that little camera icon just opens that up. Makes it really cool. It's easy. Scan in that Bitcoin address so that I can send my Bitcoin to Coinbase or Kraken or Binance US or to a friend, right? Bitcoin's great that way. Send it across the room or across the world with equal ease. All right. So I hope you guys had a good time. I'll see you next week. Don't forget, we do this every Saturday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join me again for the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. Hope to see you there. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you again soon.